Hi there, my name's James Beard and I am a breath worker. I teach conscious breathing exercises from pranayama to breath work. And I have been asked to, if I would, make a video and put it up online for people to go to breathe right now. Today is April 9th. It's the 100th day of the year. And if you look in the Course in Miracles, it's a fun day to read that one. And so that's what I'm doing. And it's also 2 days before the World Breathing Day. I have a lot of information I'm going to try and share with you. I'm going to try and do it in 30 minutes. I have not succeeded yet. So here I go again with another go. All right. So the first practice I want to share with you is really simple, and what you could do with all these practices is, once you see the practice, is pause this video or turn it off, close your eyes, go inside and do the practice. Some of you that don't know me may want to know, who is this James Beard? So I'll give you this information real fast. I've been doing conscious breathing since the early 80s. In 1992, I came across the word breath work and had a weekend experience which was profound. I'll just say it that way. And I say, it was in my life up until 1992, and there's my life after 1992. And then it just recently has gotten deeper. So I'm here to share. I'm here to be of service. And as Buddha says, if you can't be of service, at least do no harm. So I was kind of chilling in my house, doing no harm, and I've received emails and Facebook messages and such to teach, to share what I know. Put a video up, please, James. So here I am. Now, the first breathing exercise I want you to be aware of is right here, tip of the nose. Feel the breath at the tip of your nose. Feel the air move in and move out. It's really simple. Just be aware of your breath. That's your focus point right here. Okay? And so you close your eyes with these breathing exercises. You go in and you breathe and you feel the sensations. I'm not going to tell you what they are. Feel. See, it's about self-discovery. It's about being aware. And it's a good place to start, right there, tip of your nose. What does it feel like when the air moves in? What does it feel like when it moves out? Notice the difference. Focus on that. Keep your mind there. Witness the mind and how it changes. Witness the body as you breathe. Become the witness. That's what's asked of you with breath work. Okay? A really fun one real quick. I love this. I learned this from my yoga teacher, my Rod, in my Raja yoga training. So for those of you that don't know, I'm a certified 500-hour yoga teacher working on my EYRT for the yogis. All right, so this is a really good breathing practice. So you want to take an inhale. Okay, so we're going to inhale in. And then we're going to let out a ha. All right? And feel your body relax with the ha. Feel the shoulders drop. The tension just kind of melt away off the body. Some of it just wilts. Just lets go. Okay? So let's do that again. Big breath in. And let out the sound ha. Ha. All right? Feels good, right? So now we're going to inhale in. And we're going to let out two ha's. Ha. Ha. Just really allow it to deepen, right? All right. Now, one more big breath. I always say one more. Teachers say it all the time, and we do a lot more than that, right? Big breath. And let out four ha's. Ha, 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 ha. Really empty yourself on that. Okay? Now, we're going to go for it. Big breath in. Let out 8 ha's. Ha, 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 ha. Yes, that's right. Laughter is great medicine, especially right now. So laugh. If you can't, try this exercise. Just try and get out 8 ha's. All right, maybe some he's in there too. Right on. We'll be doing Lamaze. Yeah, sorry to ladies. All right. So there you go. There's 2 breathing exercises for you so far. One, very serious, focus on the nose, is out of Vipassana meditation. If you want to do something really deep once this is done and things open up and you want to take this pause moment we're in and go deeper, go find a Vipassana center and do 10 days of silence. 3 1-hour sits minimum, up to 5 per day for 10 days. That's a good way to get to know yourself. All right. What you can do is go to the minutes and remember where these are. Maybe they'll show up in the comments. Maybe I'll do it in the description of this video once I get it loaded on YouTube. All right. Okay, here we are. I'm going to work out of my book, Pranayama and Breathwork, A Journey with Breath, a workbook for yogis. Okay? Everyday tools for a better life. So this is, in here there's 13 pranayamas and 8 different styles of breath work. And a couple stories, and you'll get to learn more about me if you just want to read. The book is about the practice, doing the practice. So there's a lot of different pranayamas. And I want to get through this, and I tend to go off on tangents, so I'm trying to be mindful of time and keep this within the 1 hour. So if I sound rushed and I'm talking like this, that's kind of why, all right? All right, so Udgith is a pranayama. Udgith. Yeah. And it's in the book. You can look it up. It's the chanting of Ohm. And we say Ohm, but I prefer to really expand on that and go Ohm. It's A, the sounds are A, U, M, and silence. And I think the silence is a very important part of this. It's the very last bit of the exhale on the word where we clear the lungs and then we breathe back in. If you want to get deep into the Brahman part of it, you want to see if you can do an Om on the inhale. I have not succeeded here lately, but we'll see what happens. So if you'd like to chant Om with me, I will do a couple of them, and then after we do a couple, you can play with that and stop right there and go into your own practice. I recommend a minimum of 2 minutes to start and work your way up to 5 to 10 to 15. 20 minutes is where I believe the magic starts to happen, between 20 and 45 minutes. And if it doesn't happen the first time, don't worry about it. It's about creating a daily practice for yourself. So you have this in your back pocket when times like this come along and they cannot get to you, because you've created a nice foundation to be on that comes from within, not out there somewhere. Okay? So the chanting of Om. That's a ah, that wasn't Om, so here we go. Big breath in. Om. That was one. So that's how it feels. So you try that, okay? Should we do it again? For the sake of time, I'm only going to do one more of these. But go into the feeling. Let your body resonate. Let it come down into your body and feel you up. That is the chanting of Ohm, known as Udgith in the yoga world. Okay, another very well-known pranayama is Ujjayi, and it's known as the ocean's breath. It's called a warming breath, and it's creating restriction at the back of your throat, and you breathe in. So that's that one. So you could like stop the video now and practice that one. You go back to the Om and practice that one. You can stop this video anywhere and go into these and do minutes of this practice, okay? Many minutes. Get lost in it. Have fun with it. Having fun. Speaking of having fun, let's go into the Ekankar. Their big pitch was out-of-body experience. So, and if you look at Melchizedek's work in one of the, I believe it's the Brothers of Light. Let's go with that. The chant, the tone is H-U, and you can play with that sound too. That I find that one to resonate in my heart chakra. So that's another tone. So, and I'm going to play with a couple more. So that was out of Ekankar. That was not yoga. It's actually a religion of sorts. All right. Back to the pranayamas. So another one with sound is Brahmari, the bee's breath. And you take the flap of your ear and with your thumbs, you're going to push the flap of your ear in, both of them. And you got to have some fun with this. Don't be so serious. Like, neener, neener, neener. Okay. But flaps of your ears in. And you're going to hum like a bee. Play with that one too. That will help clear the mind more than anything else. Shoulders are up and back and down. I mean, the suit doesn't really help show that. So play with that one. I recommend playing with the pitch of the bee. So raise it up, or more of a bumblebee just cruising along. Okay, and let it drop into the body also. So that's Brahmari. Now this is a fun one in class. It's always fun to help you get through. Just anyways, have fun with it. As you sit right here, nobody's looking at you or whatever. I'm being videoed, so it's going to be out there as long as I leave this recording up or whoever downloads it, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we're focusing on a drishti. The eyes, we're going to look up cross-eyed, okay? The tongue's going to come out, and we're going to exhale. It's called the lion's breath, simhasana. So it's something like this, and you're going to go big inhale, and then you're going to go forward, and you're going to let it out. You can see the top of my head there. So maybe that'll be fun, but I'm going to I'll just stay here, but normally you go in and forward with it and to express and exhale the breath. So it looks similar to this. So it's big inhale, and then ha. It's kind of fun. Always seems to make me laugh the first time. Ha. All right, so that's the lion's breath. This is one of the pranayamas in yoga. Now as we move along, I'm going down a list that's in my book. So there's a whole bunch of these in here. And here we go. So that's simhasana. So Shatali is another breath. It's known as a cooling breath. We curl the tongue. And then we're going to hold it and feel the coolness on the tongue. Once the coolness dissipates, exhale out the nose. Okay? So it's once it warms, out the nose. You can do that. You can play with that breath for several minutes. if you find your tongue does not curl, this is true of some people, there's the hissing breath. So the Sitali and Shikari, all right, are the two different ones. So it's like this with the teeth. And you breathe and pull the air past the teeth, same thing. Close the mouth, feel the coolness. And once it warms, exhale out the nose. All right? There's another one you can play with. So Sitali and Shikari. Okay, now we're moving forward into some of the breaths that you may or may not know. There's the Nadi Shodhana is this particular breath, and it's right and left nostril breathing. I have a little thing I made here to help you understand some of the deeper meaning of this. Here in the West, I find it to be a very mindfulness practice. It gives you something to do, something to play with. In the Science of Breath book, I believe it talks about the nose and the science of what happens within here, and the word's not coming to me right now. So we're gonna close the right nostril, breathe in through the left. We're gonna hold the breath. If you need to pinch your nose, you can do that. And then you close the left nostril and you exhale out. Then you'd inhale back in through the left. And you'd hold the breath. Cross over. You're going to exhale out the left nostril. I recommend blowing your nose for some of you. Getting the nasal passages clear. Now the count is, or the math, the multiplier is 1, 4, 2. So if you breathed in for 2, you would hold for 4. Did I do the math wrong? Okay, 1, 4, 2. If you breathe in for 2, okay, then you multiply 2 by 4, you get 8, and then you exhale for 4. If you breathe in for 4, you get 16, you exhale for 8. So you breathe in, hold, then you're going to breathe out. You breathe right back in. You're going to hold, and this is not to a count, this is just demonstration, and you're going to exhale. There are several different ways you can do your hands, depending on the school, or if you like to do this, you can touch the third eye. And there's different ways of doing this. You want to go deep, you take the tongue, and it goes up behind the little flap in the back of your mouth, and you learn to stretch out the tongue, the base of the tongue, so you can get it up and stop the nadis that way. Now, that's the physical aspects of this. Behind me is a picture of my art. This is, I find it fascinating. It's a very right-brain picture when I first did it. And I'm watching the time. So there's a lot of research you can do with all these pranayamas and go deeper into it. And I recommend, if you find one of these you like, go back to it, get the lesson, turn this off, hit pause, whatever, and practice for minutes, right? So we got that. There's the Pingala, the solar side, and the lunar side, the Ida. So a hot and a cold side, masculine, feminine, different aspects to these. The idea is to be balanced, to see if my nose is how clear. And this is how you know if these nadis are balanced by, they talk about the hemispheres in the brain, which side of the nose you're breathing through, what times of the day. There's a lot of science behind this on how you can apply this and devote a lot of time and energy to it. So here's my left, fairly clear. Now just check out the right, a little more stuffy. Can you hear that? So they would say I'm slightly out of balance. Ideally, you want to bring balance to the Ida and the Pingala. And as you do, these two go together. And these are wrapping around the chakras. My count is 6. And I'm breathing up through the chakras and coming out at the third eye. And then I hold, so it's 6, right? Multiply that by 4, and I hold for 24. Then I exhale 12. This takes a little stretching and practice to get there for some. And then I switch and I breathe up and spiral the other way and come up. Do that. Once you're balanced, it gives an opportunity for the Sushumna, this section in the middle, going up, to come along. I do this, here's a little demonstration piece for visuals of Sushumna up the middle. So colors aren't really representing anything here. It's just pieces of wires I happen to have. All right, so there's that. And once you start to really get deep into this practice, and you'll light yourself up from the inside out. And that's how this works. So this is a pretty kind of normal state of who we are, and we start tuning in and bringing forth the light. All right. So that's a piece of art that was inspired almost 30 years ago from my first breathwork encounter. Very deep practice. So that is Nadi Shodhana. Okay. I have my book over here that tends to close itself. Swamavitra, equal breathing, or some people call it box breathing. If you're pregnant or have low blood pressure, do not do the holds. You don't want to hold the breath, so it says. I'm going to say trust yourself. Trust yourself. Okay? Equal breathing. We breathe in for 4, we hold for 4, we breathe out for 4, we hold it out for 4. Whatever your math is that you do, that's equal or box breathing, creating that. So you can play with that. Okay, that's equal breathing. So if we breathe in for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Inhale. 3. Hold. Exhale. 2. Hold. Okay? Box breathing. You could double down, make it 8. You could double that down, make it 16. Double that down, make it 32. Double that down, make it 64. It can be done. All right. Sake of time, I'm going to move along. So that's box breathing. Next is a 3-part breath. Okay, so you got your belly, you got your heart, and you got your upper chest. And it's breathe, so you want to do some breaths and move the belly. You find that difficult to do? Go ahead and see if you can just move your belly. Don't think about the breathing, but if you can push the belly out. Pull the belly in, push the belly out. So now when you inhale, push the belly out. So it'll help that diaphragm, the low part of the diaphragm, open up. So you can start playing with that. All right? And then the heart. Kind of breathe into the middle of your body. Expand and side to side, front to back, top to bottom. Okay? Upper chest. Up under here under the collarbones. Really bring it up. Really bring it up. You might find these scaly muscles engaging here. The neck muscles. We really don't want that, but to really get that up there, it might happen. So be mindful of what is not necessary when you're breathing. We can relax a good portion of the body when we're just breathing. Okay, so that's 3-part breathing. They call it, the yogis call it the complete breath. Me being me, I say, well, what about the back? And we'll get into that later with some of the other breath work. If I have time, I'm running out of time for the recording part of this. All right, Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is it's a forced exhale, relaxed inhale. Also, once again, be mindful what's in your nose. You can also do it out the mouth. And you're pulling, you're just forcing the exhale out. Okay, that's Kapalabhati. There's several of them that people get confused with. Then there's Bhastrika. So you can find this in some of the breathwork practices done certain ways. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. But it's equal breathing, the bellows breath, so it's a forced inhale, forced exhale. So Bhastrika. All right. And then there's Agni Prasana, the breath of fire out of Kundalini Yoga. It's right here at the nose. Once again, I'm going to remind you, here's the technique. Now practice it. Do it for minutes. I'm not doing this with you. I'm offering this to you for you to develop your own practice. If you'd like Skype sessions, hit me up. All right. So those are the pranayamas. There's Agnisara, and that is the one where you manipulate the gut and you really pull the stomach back to the spine and then up under the rib cage. You're really working the reverse action of the diaphragm, pulling it back and up. People that can do it really well, it's quite impressive how they can move their stomach. So check into that. All right, we're going to move now to the breath work. Those were the pranayamas. I hope that was helpful, and in a workshop setting I go deeper into these and we work each one and then we teach each other, things like that. And yoga teacher trainings. And then I introduce the yogis to breath work. My hidden agenda, because they're saying I teach breath work and I'm saying you teach pranayama. So breath work is an umbrella word for pranayamas, for a lot of different styles of conscious breathing. And then I call a smaller breath work word is where I find rebirthing. And then underneath rebirthing there's all kinds of other styles that have birthed out of rebirthing. Then there's holotropic. And there's other styles that came out of the holotropic area. Stanislav Grof, rebirthing is Leonard Orr. And you can look these up, do some research, and find these practices out there. Okay, so there's that. There's coherent breathing by Stephen Elliott. Breathing in for 6, and breathing out for 6, connecting the breaths. He calls it the optimal breath, scientifically proven. He's a scientist and has studied this and practiced it, monitored it. And he's worth looking into and reading his books and checking out what he has to offer. I believe he is in the Breathwork Online Summit and had a few things to say there. I don't know if that's still up and available, but anyways, there you go. Buteyko, Dr. Buteyko. It's about asthmatics. It's worth looking into if you have asthma. And if you do have asthma, look at uncried tears or unexpressed emotion, something that hasn't been integrated or it's been suppressed. And if you get into breathing, you start hitting towards those 20-minute marks, between that 20 and 45 minutes. There's the potential of having a discharge, an emotional discharge. That is part of the phenomena of breath work. Have no expectations is the best way to go into it. But if this happens, it's okay. Allow that expression to come through you and be done. Allow it out. It might not be pretty, but allow it to happen. All right. Tumo. Tumo is like a forced inhale, kind of the opposite of Kapalabhati. Wim Hof teaches, it's now known as the Wim Hof Method. He was teaching Tumo when I first met him, and but he's made it more relatable, being Wim Hof and being the man he is, and the way it's been marketed now, which is really cool. Because I'm glad seeing it's reaching a lot more people. Out of traditional Chinese medicine, we have the microcosmic orbit. There's 2 meridians. If you say the word let, and we're at the end of the word let, the T puts the tongue on the roof of the mouth as one of the points, and it goes around the inside of your skull. It's really tricky at the back of the skull where you come back to the spine, down the spine to the pelvic floor, and in the middle of the pelvic floor is an area called the perineum. It's between your genitals and your anus. Then from that point down there, back up the front of the body to the tip of the tongue, completing the circuit. And now you may understand why, if you've ever done meditation, we put the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. It's like doing mudras. And this is the lung meridian connecting to other meridian channels. For the sake of time, that's the microcosmic. It's in the book. There's a diagram. There's videos out there. There. That's it. What do I got here? Any other breaths? I wish it would be a time if you had questions. I would love to be able to answer them for you. So let's review. Tip of the nose, really simple. Breathe in, breathe out. This will help you relax the mind. Brahmari, really help you clear your mind. Give that one a try. Just close those ears and hum the sounds. The chanting of Ohm, really good. I really like that. My foundation breath is the microcosmic orbit. As I said, this is the 100th day of the year. It's April 9th, 2020. I've been doing my practice I've been doing 100 conscious connected breaths every day or more, up to 1,000, because I have a 1,000 breath challenge, journal, workbook, whatever you want to call it now. And but that's how I start my day, with 100 conscious breaths minimum, and then a cold shower, kind of going into the Wim Hof piece. And those are the types of teachings I offer, but I also live it. I really rushed that. I apologize for that. There's reasons for that because of technology. And I don't really want to waste your time. We can go in here, find the breath that resonated with you, practice it. My website's 13breaths.com. You can find me, my contact information there. Check that out. If you want a one-on-one coaching right now in the times, that we can do Skype or something along those lines. And or keep an eye out for my workshops when we go back to a normal. And if you want me to come and teach wherever you're at, I can do that too. I'm here to be of service. But ask. Ask. Somebody asked me to do this. It's not just somebody, several somebodies. So I said, okay, I'll put something up there. So here you are. There's a lot of information there. I hope you make the best of it, and I hope you find peace. I really do hope you find peace within you, within your times, and that you have these exercises after this time we're in passes, that you carry this forward with you, this peace feeling, and continue to build on that. I'm going to leave you with this practice. It's my 13 breath practice. It's really simple. You can do it in as little as 2 minutes. So back to that nice full breath, belly through the heart and up to the chest. We start with the nose, the circular breath, if you want to try and do the microcosmic orbit. I'm going to cut, normally I do about a minute, but for the sake of time, I'm going to run out of time here. So the intention is love for your body and bring in that feeling of love. And out the nose. And love for your mind. Love for your heart. Exhale out the mouth. Relax body in, belly breath. Let it go. Peaceful mind, belly breath. Just breathe into the belly, nothing more. Belly breath. My heart is open on that one. So pursed lips. I am alive. Feel that one. I am focused. Keep your mind focused. Don't let it wander. I'm connected. We're all one. I believe that. See if that fits into your world. I love myself. I love my life, the reflection. I am love, the recognition. And I am. Hold it. Relax into it. And let it go.